Okay, we should be live. Captions are working. Sound seems to be okay. And we're up on Facebook, YouTube, Mixer, and Twitch. We're just all catching up. Cool. Excellent. And let's see if we can just check the chat. So cool. So we have everything in place. Right, so we are back in Elite Dangerous this evening. Not going to be focused on the Empire rank tonight. Instead, going to focus on looking at a couple of other ways of making money. Previously looked quite a bit at bounty hunting with massacre missions and also various kinds of mining, including void opals, panites, as in double panite, and triple low temperature diamond. But going to look at a couple other ways of doing it. So let's just get us onto the main game stream. Excellent. Okay, so first things first. We'll get where we left things off. Our inventory is empty. Right. And we currently are, or we were returning to Shimrata Desra. Right, so the ways we are going to look at making money will be road to riches in exploration and trading of certain specific commodities. And we'll see if we've got time to do anything else, but as before, what we'll probably do is we'll pick a method and then do it for an hour and see what the rough hourly rate is. And based on what I've done previously, I know how that compares to some of the other things I've tried. So let's start with the road to riches. So I am currently here, which is not where I've done road to riches from before, so it's as good as any starting point. Bearing in mind as well, I will have done part of the road and therefore there will be a certain amount of repetition. But on top of that, let's just bring this up. Cool. On top of that, because of the new planetary mapping, there's actually the opportunity for me to revisit some of the systems I've previously visited. So basically, to do the road to riches, what you need to do is you need to come to this website, and there's the URL. It allows you to calculate a number of different things, but the road to riches is one of them. So you just select the road to riches. You get the screen for that, and basically we want to type in that we are starting at Polis. We'll leave those there, and yeah, we will get that. Not entirely sure what that's all about. That's new. Okay, so this gives us a route to try. So, and effectively all it is a matter of taking the system names there, traveling, and you can get some information. Now, you may notice that the information in your list, it includes how far it is from your previous system. So first jump, 10.26 light years away from Hollis. Second jump is 26.22 light years away from Shiyu. Bird jump is 17.15 light years from Vapri. That's how you pronounce it. So it does vary. That's interesting. That's showing up on Facebook. Now the other thing when looking at this list that's very important to pay attention to is these planets that are listed here. These aren't necessarily going to be every high value planet to scan, but they are what are traditionally considered the most valuable. So they are a good guide. But you want to look at these distances in the brackets, because if those distances are say 100,000, that's 100,000 light seconds from the jumping point. That's quite a journey, and there are systems where it might be 100,000, 300,000. Here's a good example, 116,000. I might well want to skip that system and just basically go from number 8 to number 10. Number 20 there's, and that's not too bad, particularly because there are 3 planets all close together. No, we're not doing too bad on this. There's not lots of 100,000 plus. Another one at 42. There we go. So that's basically the road to riches. You have to use a third-party tool to get yourself on the road. There is more than one of these available, so it really is a matter of pick the one you want. So now that I've shown you that, I am going to hide that window so that you can see the game properly. So our first system is Shiyu, and we note here I've never been to this system, so that's nice. Right, so at this point what we will do, the time is 10 past 7 my time. Now I might have a little bit of exploration data, but it's probably not going to make a big difference. However, for the sake of accuracy, let's see how much exploration data we've got. So we're going to go in, we're going to go hand in.
Docking request approved. Set course for landing pad 09.
Okay. So we won't be starting the clock just yet. Okay, because if we're carrying any exploration data, we need to make sure we don't count. Ideally, we want to make sure we don't count that against our total for the hour. There we go. So check our exploration data. We may as well just make sure that we are fully up to date with our repairs. Okay, so we can actually sell that. That's cool. So we have no exploration data. Let's just make sure that we're not carrying anything else. Cool. Right. So it's, let's call it 7:12. We'll do this for an hour and see how much money we make.
to free station perimeter.
Okay. Generally does it. Especially because we are within the no-fly zone, which means that we get fined if we damage anyone while speeding. Okay, so Shiyu. Okay. So this is the Shiyu system. So first order of business, and we want to do these things reasonably quickly. Discovery scan of the system while starting to refuel. Okay, so we have a few bodies. Now, if I go to the website, the entry on the website said that A1 was a terrestrial water world, which would be this planet here. It doesn't say anything about this planet or any of the other bodies here, which means they're not high value. So what I would want to do is, first of all, that's my target planet, so I target it. I then, before I go into my discovery spectral analysis and scanning all these planets, I want to point my ship at it. Okay, so that should mean that we should hopefully be out pointing at it. That's A3. Okay, so this has not worked as well as I might like. Actually, probably worked fine. It was just there. There it is, A1 water world. Right. So what I might then do is come out of there. Because I don't know where A1 and A2 are in relation to each other, I target A2 because I'm interested in what A2 might be. You know, if I'm trying to make money quickly, I don't want to be spending my time right, so it is literally just ahead of me.
Warning.
What we got?
Temperature critical.
That's A2, which is a high metal content world, and it's time to pull away from the star. We've just called it in time. Cool. Right, so this is a high metal content, but it says nothing about terraformability of the planet. So that is of no interest. Right, so we want A1. So we've dropped in, we've done our discovery scan, we've gone to the FSS, we've scanned only the target planets. Hiya Neo, welcome back to the stream. We've used the FSS only on the planets that we're interested in, and now we're flying to that planet to do a planetary surface scan. You're not using it. That's probably a good thing. I haven't adjusted Nightbot yet. If you want to, for some occasion, warn me, and I'll go into Nightbot and adjust. Cool. Stream relay chatbot is working well. Okay. This is the point where we want to do surface scans. Efficiency target is 7.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Habits die hard. Haha, which is why you keep getting
Surface
spammed.
scan complete.
Cool. Right. No problem, Neo. Let me just bring up the window capture so that our next system then on this run is this one. So if I click this icon here, it will copy it to my clipboard and I will just kill the window capture then. Then if I go into my galaxy map, click in there, I can paste the name. That's the route plotted. If I just bring the window back up, you can see in this system it's Planet 1, Planet 3, terraformable water worlds, very close to the jumping points. Kill that. So let's see if we can do this with a bit of speed and see how much we make in an hour. Yeah, I do need to increase the number of emotes you can use. Yeah, it's a little strict at the minute, perhaps. So we want to start a scan at the same time as we start the fuel scoop. We've scanned. We can look here. Clearly see that, yeah, you can see why Planet 1 and Planet 3 are of interest. So to make sure
Fuel scooping complete.
we can actually find that in the FSS, select it on the system map. Because otherwise you've got to search around the whole of the FSS for the thing, and depending on where it is in relation to your ship, it might be a little ways. There we go, that should put it just about in front of me. Okay, so basically these bodies here, there's Planet 1, is a water world. And there's Planet 3, which is a water world. Now I am actually interested to know what Planet 2 is. That's Planet 2, it's just a high metal content. Right, so I have scanned those. We can now head towards them. So in terms of the high metal content world, it's saying nothing about terraformable. So it's not going to be worth lots of money. Have you ever heard of the Road to Riches, Neo? Which is basically what we're doing now. Well, let's just make absolutely sure I've not previously scanned this. Nope, I have not scanned that, and I have not mapped that, and it tells me that both of them are candidates for terraforming. I have to say that is quite pretty. Is that 3? Yeah, that's 3. There's 2. Nice. Okay. I want to be not too far away. Probably do. The time for a surface scan, so we're going to be a little bit quicker off the mark with things. I wouldn't normally do 5, but the efficiency target is 6, and that pattern of 5 should serve me reasonably well.
Surface scanned by 50%.
There we go.
Surface scan complete.
Now we head on to the next one. Bit of slow down as we are so close to another body. Okay. Though it's much easier to approach planets faster, it is still possible to overshoot or crash into them, so some caution is advised. I get to about 20 megameters or so, maybe closer. So, there's an efficiency target of 6 probes. I want to try and always be inside the efficiency target. So I put one there on the horizon, as it were, on the horizon marker. One there on the horizon marker. One here just above, full circle above, full circle below, and one there, straight ahead. That is a pattern that on planets of this sort of size, 6 or 7 efficiency target, should quite quickly get fully mapped.
Surface scan complete.
Right, so we have mapped the 2 planets in this system. So now we go back to our window. Our next system is this one. 1 planet, 122 light seconds. That's nice. Copy that. Just kill that window. Put that in here. As you can see, we're pretty much jumping around towards the bubble here. These are all close to where people are.
Frameshift drive charging.
So we started at 7:12. We're just coming up to 15 minutes. We have done 2 systems.
4, 3, 2.
We're about to do our 3rd. If we're lucky, these planets fully mapped, particularly if I haven't handed any data in for them before, are 1 million apiece. Not always going to be the case. So, system scan. Go in for the fuel scoop.
Fuel scooping.
We check the map.
Fuel scooping complete.
Okay, so we can see here, that's the planet that we're interested in. There is that one there. It would be a high metal content terraformable, and the rotor riches would tell us if that was the case. So now that we've got that planet selected on the system map, we can orientate our ship, put it in front of us. Then we go into the FSS, and there it is. Okay, we come out the FSS, we start flying towards it. Just double check in here. Terrestrial water world, candidate for terraforming, not yet mapped. Okay. So the high value worlds are Earthlight worlds, water worlds, terraformable water worlds, terraformable high metal content, and terraformable rocky worlds. Now terraformable rocky worlds are very rare. The road to riches doesn't show, and ammonia light worlds. Now the road to riches, because they are worth a bit less, but they're still quite valuable, doesn't show you ammonia worlds or water worlds. It only shows you the terraformable water, high metal content, and earth likes. Really? So efficiency target is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it can be worth keeping an eye out in systems in case there are ammonia worlds or water worlds that don't appear on the list.
Surface scan.
But all of these worlds are of a similar kind of size.
Surface scan complete.
No, they're probably going to be 5, 6, 7 efficiency target, and as long as they're 6 or 7, you could fire those first probes in that pattern that I just used quite safely. So, our next system is EWAS, 19.75 light years away. We are looking for planet 3A, 2,390 light seconds, terrestrial water world. Terrestrial terraformable water world. So, I've not been here before. So yeah, while you're doing the road to riches, although it will point out the most high value bodies to you, it is worth your while keeping an eye out for other stuff.
Shift drive charging.
If those other planets were a long way away from where you are and you're finished with the really high value ones, it might not be worth your while to go and get them. But if they're close, ammonia worlds and water worlds are definitely worth scanning.
2, 1.
Sorry, sorry about that. So we did 3 systems in 15 minutes. See if we can improve on that a bit.
Fuel scooping.
So, system map after we have
Fuel
paused.
scooping complete.
Yeah, you can see right there that this time it's actually going to be a moon. So, I need to orientate myself on the moon before I go into the FSS, so that I'm having to scan half the system just to find the one body that I'm actually interested in. Okay, you do have to throttle down. So this should be here. Okay, this is playing hard to get. Right, wait a sec. It is in front of me, isn't it? Yeah? It is in front of me. Okay. Of course, it's a moon of the gas giant. So I've got to get the right gas giant before I can find the right moon, and there it is. Okay, that was a little bit more complicated because the planet we were looking for is actually the moon of a gas giant, rather than being a planet in its own right. So, because it's so close to the gas giant, you have to get the gas giant first, and then you can get the moon. Right, as we go. Checking all the streams while we head over. Looking good. Hey. Picking up speed again. But we still respect the 7-second rule. Because otherwise we risk massively overshooting. Now we've just been going now for 22 minutes. Alright, there's the gas giant. Here's our target world. All those discovereds. Wow. Okay, this is quite interesting. Seems to have Stone Rocky Moon really close. That's really close. I mean, that's at 22, that's at 18 point, yeah. Whoa. Right, that'll do. So, surface scanner, 6 probes. Here, here, there, and there, on there. As long as you're inside the efficiency bonus, you will get the same payout. It doesn't matter if you did it in 4, 5 or 6. As long as it's 6 or less on this target, you get the bonus.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Hey. So that's the planet on this one. So back to the road to riches. Yep. Our next world is that one, and we have planet A2 is the only one we've got, or that it acknowledges it, and that is here again, a world I've never been to. Just have a quick look here. Yeah, it's an Earth-like world with its own little moon. Nice. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
Let's do that thing. So 25 minutes now, and we're jumping to our first system. So this is not the system we want. This is an intermediary. We're going to scan it anyway. Because as I said before, water worlds and ammonia worlds will not necessarily turn up on the road to riches. And you could pass through. I have indeed passed through planets with water worlds or ammonia worlds, and it was worth my while to stop off. In this case, those all looked uninteresting, so not this time. So we want to get away from the star, let our heat drop some, and jump again. There we go, we're under 50%, so that's good. This is our target system. Hey Subsonic, welcome back to the stream, good to see you.
Fuel scooping.
Testing a few money making methods tonight, starting with Road to Riches. Right, so essentially a few interesting ones in this system. Let me just go the window capture. So this is our system and it's A2. You found a sweet trading run. Nice. What are you trading out of interest? Don't reveal the run, because if you reveal the run, I'm afraid that it could start to devalue. Now that's potentially interesting. Probably just a high metal content. Right, let's get this. Just an 8 light year hop, 1.3 million profit. Ooh. Which commodity, if I may ask? I know military grade fabrics can do quite well. Right. That should be our world. Animal monitors. There we go. Water world. Right, so is that one? No, we don't want to get into this. Stick to the plan. Because we've got these worlds over here. So that might possibly be something, could be an ammonia. Might not be. Okay. Yeah, that was for just the high metal content. So the only world we want in here is this one, as per the Road to Riches. It's nice. Your son got a 65k trade dividend. That's really nice. Yeah, the trade dividends are nice if you trade on the wing. They're not huge, but they are nice. They're definitely worth pursuing if you have the choice. Yeah, trying to find out basically an indicative hourly rate for Road to Riches. So to compare that to things like Void Open Mining. So basically doing Road to Riches for an hour as kind of quickly as I can. Then we will move on to some trading. The thing with the Road to Riches is the website does give you a lot of information. It does take some of the fun of figuring stuff out for yourself out of it, but in all honesty, making that Explorer rank and getting that cash might be more what you're after at the time. Anaconda with 384 ton capacity. Very nice. We might be able to surpass that later. But that is a darn good run, sir. Right, that pattern of 5 should do its trick. It's quite nice. Other planet just there.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete.
Cool. Right, so Road to Riches. We are approaching. We've just passed the half-hour mark. Next system, ENET, Planet 6, 347 light seconds, Earth-like world. I've copied the name. Okay. Plug that into here. Go. Got my route again. I'm getting good value here because it's a planet I have not, system I have not been to before. So I've lucked out a bit here in terms of the road. I seem to be on a good little stretch.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so this is not the planet we want. This is an intermediary stop. But because ammonia worlds and water worlds, that's non-terraformable water worlds, do not appear on the Road to Riches. So those could only be high metal content and they would appear on the road if they were there. So we can say that none of those bodies in there are actually high value. But it's got some really nice flares going on. This next one is our target system.
Frameshift drive charging.
So I'm doing this just for money, but if I wanted to get Explorer rank as well, this is a very good way of getting yourself elite in exploration.
4, 3, 2,
And getting an elite in exploration or trade in, it's easier than combat. Get you that first elite rank, gets you into SilmarUK Desra. That's kind of nice. Also, it might be that you're wanting to get large amounts of exploration data for background simulation work.
Fuel scooping complete.
In which case, a way of focusing on high value targets is what you're going to want. Okay, so we can see that there are several worlds here. That is the one that the website tells us we should focus on. It tells us that that is an Earth-like world. And it very obviously looks like one. There is a slight possibility, though, that that could be a water world but not terraformable, and one of those two could be high metal content. So, there's a couple of ways of finding out. So the world is over there. If I click on that one, Okay, that's completely the opposite side, so I'm going to have to use the FSS. Except I don't want to use it just yet. I select the planet in the system map. Sorry, just got to click back on the window. Select the planet on the system map. Point my ship at it. Jump into the FSS. There it is, pretty much straight in front of me. Okay, that was just a high metal content, so come out. Because I don't know where these planets are in their orbits, I have to do this each time. So this one, okay, that one is going to be blocked by the star. So I've got to get around the star. That's sufficient. So what did you miss? Hi, you Fluffy Freak. Welcome back to the stream. I am looking at a bit of money making and looking at doing the Road to Riches quickly for an hour. That's just the high metal content. And basically seeing what my sort of rough hourly rate might be compared to things like VoD mining and such like. So you haven't missed much. It's a bit repetitious, but if you want the elite rank or you want the cash, this is one way of doing it. Okay, so that, yeah, that's going to be probably a high metal content. Yeah. So now what we want is we want to target our actual planet of interest from the website, which is that one. We've not done much of this stuff. Okay, cool. Well, I'm starting with Exploration Road to Riches. This is how you make money exploring and rank exploring quickly. And then I'm going to move on to trying a couple of things trading. Maybe return to a bit more of this later. We will see. So I don't necessarily have to use the FSS. I can just fly close to a planet. And when I get close, it will automatically fill in all the information. Show you what I mean. Right now that says nothing, but these planets which I have scanned with the FSS are showing all that. I don't want to overshoot. There we go, I've started scanning the planet as I get closer. And now, if I just nip in here, we've got all the information. Right, now the other thing about this is I have not mapped this planet, so I want to map it. Bearing in mind, I don't think I've really left the bubble yet. So the Road to Riches is not something where you have to travel 5,000 light years out of the bubble to do it. Okay, get ready to map. So efficiency target is 6. So just to speed things up a bit. Same old pattern of 5.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface
There we
scan
go.
complete.
Right, so just fire this up here so you can actually see the website. So I go back onto the Road to Riches. Here's my next system. Second planet, 556 light seconds, terraformable water world. I've copied that name. Just kill the window capture. Come back into the game. Just paste that in there. That's where I'm going next. I've not been here before. Did a few big loops out of the bubbles doing scans for probes, etc. though. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously many ways of exploring. This is just a particular method. It does take some of the, depending on what you enjoy in exploration, it can take a little bit of the fun of it out. But if you're interested in making money or rank quickly, this is the way to do it. And you don't have to even really leave the bubble as such, or not go too far.
3, 2,
So if exploration is your theme, the road to riches is worth considering. And you should be able to Google, there are several road to riches sites. At the end of the run, I'll put the URL for the site that I am using in chat.
fuel scooping.
Right, yeah, so fairly obviously, that's of interest.
Fuel scooping complete.
That looks interesting as well, though. And that could be a water world that's non-terraformable. So, select the planet in the system map. Aha. We're going to have to go around the start. The reason I do this is if you just jump into the FSS, you've got to potentially search the whole system to find the planet you're after. If you do this, it should be just in front of you. That's a rocky body.
Warning. Temperature critical.
Okay, that's RQ to pull away. So that rocky body. Huh. Okay, let's focus on that one. Something didn't work there. So, FFS. High metal content world. Right. Back here. Right. Did I get... Yeah, I got this. I got the moon. I don't want the moon. I want the planet. It's just that if any of these are an ammonia world or a water world, they won't be on the website list. Okay, yeah, I went for the moon, didn't I? That's a high metal content. So I know that that's not going to be a terraformable, because if it was, it would be on the list. So that's the one we want. Now if you've only got one planet in a system that you're after, you don't actually have to bother with using the FSS. You can just select it from the system map once you've done your pulse and fly on it. If you've got multiples, or if there are planets which you are maybe unsure of, you think that might actually be worth scanning, ammonia, you'll need to use the FSS to find out if they are actually worthwhile. But if you're just following what's on the list, then you may as well probably not bother to use the FSS, just do your discovery pulse. Take it from there. Because you're going to fly to the planets to map them anyway. You could do an even quicker version of this where you didn't map planets, but I think you'd be missing out on so many credits, it wouldn't be worthwhile. You would be better off mapping. Having said that, there are some systems where the target planet might be 100,000 light seconds away, and you might just hit it with the FSS and not bother to fly to it. Still get more credits that way. Better than missing out the system entirely. So, one there, one there. Those are both onto the limb. Those two are just past the limb and straight ahead. As long as the efficiency target is 6 or more, that's the pattern I would suggest you use, because it should do the job all in one go.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan
There we go.
complete.
Right, so website. Next system. Planet number 2, terrestrial water world. And we've only got 15 minutes more of doing just this. Or we'll move on to something different. Just want to get my hourly rate.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two,
So,
fuel scooping.
we pulse. We check the system map. We know that that is the one from the list. Looking at the colours on those, none of those are going to be ammonia or a water well. If they're not on the list, that means that they are not terraformable, probably high metal content. Which basically means they're not of interest for this. So we don't need to worry about the FSS. We just fly straight to this world. So, to avoid overshooting planets, we do want to be mindful of the 7-second rule on our approach speed. We've started to scan. Okay, that confirms that's a water world, which is in fact a terraformable one, as we already knew. So we have 12 minutes to go before I stop scanning things. And we'll see how much we made in an hour doing this. Quite small, this one. No, actually no. I'm misreading the distance there. Not really that small. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Target is 6. So put 1 there. No, there isn't a specific location to cache it all in. Power play, Li Yong-ri, if you are prepared to put the effort in to do that, you can get a power play bonus which will increase your exploration payouts. But I wouldn't suggest that unless you're interested in power play. I would suggest instead... Oh, apologies. That you just go and pay wherever. Now that might be somewhere you want to get Empire rank, or you're doing some other BGS stuff. Okay, so B1. Interesting. There could be any number of reasons why you pick somewhere, but I would pretty much suggest you pick wherever you want. But if you can get secondary benefits like help your faction, your reputation with a particular faction you want to be allied with, or help your superpower rank, or what have you,
Frameshift drive charging.
help your player group in their BGS manipulations, then of course do that.
Four, three, two,
So we're also going to take a look at trading military grade fabrics, see what I can do there. Might take a look at animal monitors as well if Subsonic is doing well with
fuel
those.
scooping.
Right, we have pulsed. We check the system map. Ah, right, okay, here's a good example. The reason that I was reading the number as I was is that's actually telling me that this planet is 116,179 light seconds. I don't want to fly all that way to surface scan that
Fuel
planet,
scooping complete.
but neither do I just want to skip the system. So this is a case, sorry, I haven't lined up yet, where I'm just going to use the FSS on a single planet in the system. So there we go. We're pointed the right direction. So let's see if we can find what we're looking for. I think it's going to be here. This one? Lordy. No, that's a rocky. Okay. This one. That's a rocky ice world. So even closer. Water world, there we go. So we are not going to go and surface scan now. So instead we will jump to the next system. Okay, and that's a much more reasonable 1,000 light seconds on my jump-in point rather than 100,000. Okay, so this is a system I have been to before. So let's just see what's on the system map. Interesting. I've not mapped that planet, I've not mapped that planet. Definitely worth a visit.
Frameshift
6
drive
minutes
charging.
before our hour is up.
Four, three, two,
Right, so it's planet 4 is a terrestrial water world. So we want to pulse the star while we getting close to the scoop. We come here. So that is apparently, sorry, not a terrestrial water world, a terraformable water world. Got no information. All of those, that looks like just a rocky. So, that one first, because there's more than one planet here that might be of interest. The others could just be high metal content, rockies, and actually not of interest, but I think it's worth checking. So, yeah, that's a water world. That's also a water world. So we've got a non-terraformable water world. That's an excellent example of like I was talking about earlier. Although non-terraformable water worlds are worth a nice bit of money, they don't appear on the road to riches because they're not worth as much as the ones that do appear. Be cautious. Right, I'm interested in this planet. It's probably just a rocky or an icy, but it could be another water world. It's hard to make out on the system map. So we're going to hit it with the FSS to find out. And it's a water world. Okay. Right, now this one isn't a water world. Well, it might not be a water world, but it could be an ammonia world, or it could be a water world, maybe. So again, we use the FSS to find out without having to fly to it. Okay, so it's not in part of the signal spectrum that I would have expected. Yeah, that's a high metal content, and if it's not on the list it means that it's not a terraformable. There's a water world, so we're going to start with that one because it is a candidate for terraforming. Then we'll do the other one next to it, and unfortunately at that point we'll run out of time before we can get to the last water world. So while I think about it, if you are interested, the website I am using is edtools.ddns.net. Yeah, that's got a number of things in there, including finding double painite hotspots, which is still the best way to make money if you want to, and will help your trade rank. But it has road to riches, and it's my preferred road to riches calculator because you can put where you are and it will build a list off of the road based on that. It's kind of neat. Right, so we're going to do this in its sister world and that will be it. So unfortunately we miss out on the other water world. And we're coming in a bit fast. Yeah, that's a bit faster than we a bit closer to the planet than we want to be. Let's get out to about 15. So I fluffed that a little bit, but we'll still scan these two worlds. So there. 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 There.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Ooh. We've not finished scanning it yet. Right. So. Note to self, don't scan from this close to a planet. Let's go a bit further out. Okay, we need to head over here. Oh dear, I made a bit of a mess of this. Yeah, I did. I did have to mess up once. Yeah, look at that. All that unscanned space. So. That should put us over the 90.
Surface
Cool.
scan complete.
Right, so the other planet. We're going to scan that as well. Because that will allow us to see the difference between a terraformable water world and a water world in terms of payout. This time we'll pay attention to what we're doing. So rather than basing my choice on whether to stop on a distance, I really need to look at just the size of the globe. That looks good. Fixed probe efficiency target. That should work better.
Surface scanned by 50%.
There we go.
Surface
Okay,
scan
so
complete.
I said it doesn't matter where we sell. Well, it does slightly. We need to make sure that where we're aiming to sell is at least 20 light years away from planets that we've been scanning. So this is where just looking at my route that I took is kind of useful, because I can just head somewhere that's 20 light years or away from the route I took. So let's set this to let's go for allegiance. Click off all of the ones that have no allegiance. That leaves us with a set of systems which are populated. 3.8 million, high tech. Does it have large landing pads? Yes, it does. That'll do. So this will be more than 20 light years away from here, which means that we should be able to sell all of our data. Okay.
Fuel scooping.
Too cheap to pay for fuel? Okay.
Fuel scooping complete.
So we did an hour of Road to Riches, an hour-ish. Got fluffed up at the end there. That website, by the way, the other tools it's got: pristine metallic finders, rare goods, res sites if you fancy a bit of bounty hunting. Got a distance tool. The miners tool is where you find your double painite hotspots or your triple low temperature diamond hotspots. It's also good for finding a good price for void opals, although it won't tell you where to mine void opals because they are so common. The sphere. Okay, you can find all populated systems within a certain distance of another system. Lists. Oh, I'm not sure what the list is about. Oh, right. Various lists. Systems with 6+ federal factions, systems with 6+ imperial factions, systems with 2+ fed and 2+ imperial. All good places to go work on your superpower rank. And of course the Road to Riches, which I was using. So lots of tools on that website. It's pretty decent. Your run just increased to 1.5 million. Nice. Is that a fluctuation in the price of animal monitors, or have you found a new product? I mean, for an 8 light year, cool. For an 8 light year hop, that is not bad. I'm making all the mistakes this evening now. Zoom zoom, yes. Yes, obviously I wanted to take a look at that. I seem to have my speed matched perfectly there, such that I would go in a circle and orbit all the while. Oh, pay attention. Right. see how much we made. 1 hour of Road to Riches being done reasonably quickly. It's not going to last though, indeed. There will be fluctuations and such like. But the strange thing is that the galactic average is negative. Yeah, that is weird. Is that the galactic average from the in-game commodity board or from a tool, external tool? If it's the in-game one, that's really weird and might actually be worth reporting as a bug. In-game. You might want to report that, because you wouldn't expect an in-game galactic average on commodities to be a negative. As an external tool, you might say that, you know, something strange has happened with the tool. All the data it's taken in. Which system am I in? I am in, good question, LTT 5013. There's pad 10 back there. Okay, so hopefully we will be able to sell all of our exploration data. $120 light years. Nice. Right. So first things first, you know, just maintain the ship. And I always like to check. Oh, there's a material trader. Okay, gonna come handy. What kind of material trader? Data. Okay, we'll play around with that in a moment. Universal Color Graphics. So 12.5 million on this page. And I think that's going to be all of it. Yeah. So 12.5 million an hour certainly ain't bad, but it, you know, as expected, it doesn't really compare to mining. Let's just check something. So this system, okay, so that planet there was a water world. That's a lot better than you usually do just playing about in a Hazres. Yeah, straight bounty hunting. Yeah, I can believe that. Without massacre missions. Stacking massacre missions across multiple systems, which takes a certain amount of luck and a lot of prep to do. You can spend an hour setting up at the beginning and an hour handing in at the end. I was averaging about 30 million an hour, but that is not easy to do, whereas just turning up in a Hazres is a lot quicker. But yeah, this is interesting. This was a planet that we didn't want to fly to, and it was still worth 285,000 credits. Cheng Fei. This is the one where we scanned Okay, so this is one where we had the terraformable water world. It was worth 1.1 million. The non-terraformable water world, though, was worth 472,000. So, you know, where you've got one of those near other stuff you're going to surface scan, it is worth surface scanning them, but it's about maybe a third of the money. And this is the other water world, which we could only do on the FSS, which was a non-terraformable water world, and it was still worth 100 grand. So yeah, 12 million an hour doing roads to riches. With the odd little bit in there because there were some intermediary systems that I had to pass through. Oh,
Incoming message.
okay, let's just clear my inbox. Okay, I think there's a... null reputation change. Sounds like a bug. Right. So. What have we got in this system? High res to hazardous. So we could just go and shoot people for an hour in a haz-res and see how that compares, because that would be an interesting comparison. Certainly a reasonable baseline activity. What about mass commissions? Otherwise we'll switch to... probably will switch to trading, but... ooh. So... interesting. Massacre those pirates. 19 million to kill 40 of them. They've been there. Probably be lucky to break 3 million. I don't think you're wrong there, yeah. Okay, so let me just go to the websites. Let me set this up so that you can see what I'm doing. Let's go to the res zone and res distance calculators. This is the system that massacre mission that was 19 million is in. So we've got a haz-res at 6, which is 757 light seconds. I think we might play around with some shooting of things before we move on to trading military grade fabrics. I do want to do that tonight. You think doing the road to riches to get the exploration up sound? Yeah, especially if you wanted to do exploration rank as well, road to riches is the way to do it. If you want to do it quickly. If you want to fly around a lot more, then actually consider, you know, doing it the old-fashioned way. Anybody else giving those missions out? A known pirate, but that's a wing mission. Ooh. They want some for 6. Okay, so there's a few more there. You see, if you want to make money bounty hunting, don't just go into a res and start shooting pirates. Take some missions with you. How many large pads are there in this system here? Possibly just the one. Yeah, this is the only port. So basically, okay, let's try this. 3,000 profits per ton for animal monitors, but You're not complaining. That's nice. So, let me just think. Am I going to do this now? Massacre mission. 19 million credits to kill 40 pirates. That would probably take an hour to 2 hours to do. Same system. That would be a wing mission. 500,000 credits. Wouldn't take a wing assassination missions. They're always a bit hard. It's not bad to do them. Got some takedown particular pirates though. None of whom are wing. So they would be fun. That's another 1.5 million. These are all small, so call that another 5. That's sort of like 25 million in missions for jumping into that system and shooting things. There's another assassination. There's another one. Part of the problem with this is, I mean, looking at these missions, this combination of assassination and massacre pirates, you're potentially looking at, yeah, Gold Hand Gang. So it's the right faction. Yeah, Gold Hand Gang. You're potentially looking at, in this system, if you had a frame shift interdictor, which I don't on this ship, looking at 25 to 30 million in mission payouts, plus what you get for the bounties, which might be, say, 30, somewhere between 30 to 35 million for an hour to 2 hours work. That's how I would make money bounty hunting. But because I don't have the frame shift interdictor, I'm going to struggle with the assassinations. So we're not going to do that. We are going to do the trading first, and then I might go get my Great Mark II and see if we can find another system like this. So actually, what we're going to do, I'm going to bookmark that system. So, let me show you something. Trading. If you're wanting to work on your trade rank or no problem subsonic, if you don't like mining, because mining is the best way to make trade rank, then you're going to be trading goods to make trade rank or make money. And a good tool to use for that is EDDB. Now what you want to do, you want to come in and you want to go to the commodities screen. And what you want to do is you want to sort that on the profit column. And you can see, looking at this, that here are commodities that if you could get yourself a nice little trade route, are going to be returning quite a nice little profit. Yeah, cool. Although I am aware that, let me just kill just right. So yeah, I've just taken the restream chat overlay off because otherwise I think that was blocking your ability to see the figures on EDDB. So military grade fabrics, there are runs that it's listed here as 6,600 credits a ton profit. There's a few options. Slaves, imperial slaves might not be something you're interested in, but there's also polymers. There's animal monitors. So let's take a look at animal monitors and military grade fabrics. Oh, you can see that better now then. So when I look at animal monitors, what I want to do is, this is the minimum buying stations and the maximum selling stations. So this is a way of seeing places where it's good to go and sell stuff. and also finding out where it's good to go and buy the stuff. So if I was doing animal monitors, what I would do is I would say this system, cheapest place to buy them. So the first thing I would do, I would go into the system and I would look at the place I'm going, confirm it is large pads, and I'd want to look at the distance, and that's a really good distance. So this would be the place to buy the animal monitors. Now I want to know where to sell them, so I need a large pad. This system looks a good option. Massive demand, so that could be a community goal. And it's recent as well. But how far is the pad where I'm selling it? It's 282, so this would be potentially ideal. So I've now got two systems that I'm interested in. So let's...
LFT 37.
Okay. Apparently I have something set up on my machine that I didn't realise I had. Right. That system is there. LFT 37. That's where I'd want to sell my animal monitors, because they would sell for 4,673 credits. Now I'd want to buy them ideally from here. This is just ideal. So this is this system. So what I might want to do then is look at where that is. There's a distance between them. Yeah, that's a ways. So I'm just wondering, can I use the distances tool? So LFT 37. Enter another system. The system I'm interested in. The tools tell me that is 246 light years apart. So using the tools I'm showing you, I can tell that might be a... Where's my horse gone? Ah, Holly, it's Elite Dangerous tonight. Thursdays is Elite Dangerous. Horses and Elder Scrolls Online is Wednesdays. And Sundays is Pathfinder Kingmaker, which is more fantasy. So we're flying around in space. Okay, so that sounds alright, but it's not necessarily great. That's quite a journey. So if LFT 37 is the place to sell, can I then look at where to buy closer to them? So if I click in here, what night is Flappy Bird? I'm afraid Flappy Bird is not on the rotation. If I click into the market, if I go and find animal monitors, so LFT 37, find stations to buy, gives me the sale prices. Oh, look at this. 715 credits there. 8 light years away. You got 710. 17 light seconds. That could be a good one. 474, but it's only medium pads. 490. Large pads, but 4260. 346, large pad, might be the place to buy. So using the tools, and I'll actually write up, put on the blog, more detail about exactly what I'm doing. Using EDDB, you can pick a commodity and you can find the best places to buy and sell it. But we're not going to do animal monitors, because I want to look at military grade fabrics. And the reason I want to look at military grade fabrics is because potentially the sale price is utterly ludicrous compared to the buy price. 400 odd credits to buy, 14,000 credits to sell. That kind of makes a bit of a difference. So let's use the tools we've got. This was checked 8 minutes ago. Okay. I can't quite believe that price. I actually want to go and see if it's actually the case. Let's copy that. That system right there. Apparently that is a hotbed of action for military grade fabrics. Now if that's the case, rather than finding the place to buy the lowest, if this is really as crazy as it seems to say it is, I just want to find somewhere buy them that's reasonably close. So I've gone into the station, I click on the market tab, I come down to military grade fabrics, I click in there. Now let's, yeah, I'm not sure if that's, so let's make sure that we've got the reference system is set to the actual system we're interested in. Buying stations. Okay, that has changed. So according to these, I can buy military grade fabrics at various prices. So what I'm looking for is where can I buy it at the lowest buy price, and if I just sort, I've got to go for a large pad. So large pad, this station, 639, reasonable supply, been checked recently, but that's a bit of a flight. This one may or may not still be there as it is 3 days old, but HR 2883, 164, 153. So we've got some options. So the first thing we're going to do right now, we're going to fly to this system where apparently there is a crazy price on offer for military grade fabrics. And we're going to confirm before I start doing too much of this that that's actually the case. Just to be honest, I can't quite believe that price. Because that's like 13 to 14 grand a ton trade profit, and I've never seen that before on non-res. But I saw that in EDDB this evening and said, well, I had to go and have a look.
Flight assist off. Frameshift drive charging.
You have left the no-fire zone. Flight control out.
Hopefully we won't get mass lock before we can make the jump here.
Ready to engage. 4, 3,
Nice.
2,
Oh, good point. There you go. So,
fuel
that's all
scooping.
right. I think there was a red dwarf or a brown dwarf just behind here. So, will I be doing a Halloween special? Well, what would a Halloween special be? It would depend on what it is. Yay! That was start.
Fuel scooping complete.
This is toasty. Dress up. Okay, given that two of you watching the stream actually know me, what do you think are the chances are that I'm going to dress up on stream?
Frameshift drive charging.
Not this Halloween. Kiss makeup and a witch's hat. Yeah. The pair of you, no.
4, 3,
Or at least not this year. Bad friends.
fuel scooping.
How about a horror game? Now that's certainly a possibility and keeps in theme with the whole Halloween thing. And horror games are not really something I play a lot
Warning.
of.
Temperature critical. Fuel
And I
scooping
probably would be
complete.
scared. And Halloween is a Thursday. Take it with some,
Taking heat damage.
take it with some Snapchat. Like, yeah, there are actually overlays and such like. So maybe a horror game.
Heatsink deployed.
Not necessarily a terrible idea, actually. I think that might work.
Frameshift
And find the
drive
right
charging.
game. Problem is, I would have to play it for more than one stream because obviously you don't want to play just one bit of the game on a stream. You want to complete the game.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fuel scooping.
Get free fuel. There's where we're going.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
FNAF. What does that actually stand for? I've not come across that acronym before.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, 1.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, I'll look it up.
Fuel scooping.
Alright, so here's our target system.
Fuel scooping complete.
Is this our target system? Okay. Let me check EDB again. I think I've gone to the wrong system. Ah, right. No, I was thinking of the wrong name of a base. We're in the right system. I was just looking for the wrong name here. This place. Your Fantas Arsenal? I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that, I'm afraid. Yeah, apparently has a really high sell price on the military grade fabric. Let's go see. I said I want to confirm this before I go getting excited. Anything else in this system that looks pretty unremarkable system, apart from the fact that it might have a ludicrously good price on some commodities. Need to scan some places to find out if there's any res zones. Okay. Okay. So we've scanned the planet, we found the base. So a question for people watching, if you care to answer. On the right hand side of the screen I have the Restream overlay chat and I have the opacity set to 0 on the background so that you can see the game through it very clearly. Is it okay reading the text? Because obviously when someone's talking on Facebook like Holly, and someone might like Fluffy Freak on Twitch, you will only be able to see the messages from Facebook on that overlay on the screen rather than in your chat.
Orbital flight
And that's
engaged.
well, certainly Holly can only see your replies, Fluffy Freak, on the screen. Okay, that's cool. I do wonder about that. I didn't want to block off part of the game. Right. I was thinking of maybe having it at 50%. I might play around with that, because a game like Elder Scrolls Online, the background can be brighter, so it would be harder to read. But if I can get an audience on Facebook, then they're going to want to be able to see what other people are talking about. The only way they can do that is on that on-screen overlay. Everyone else, the relay chatbot, should do the trick. Right.
DeLacy, Tango,
Thank you.
Hotel, Echo. Welcome to this Federation port, Commander. Please regulate
0.12
your speed on
Gs,
approach.
that's not bad.
Scan
Okay,
detected.
Commander. Land on pad 08.
As long as I don't do anything stupid, I should be okay to land. Just be mindful of the speed limit. All those big guns pointed at me.
Landing gear deployed.
Right, moment of truth. Let's see if the price of military grade fabrics is an error in EDDB or is actually the price in game.
Contact.
Gonna maybe carry on with some ESO. An excellent choice. So, subsonic. Sell. Military. Wow. It's not an error in EDDB. This place will buy military grade fabrics. Yeah, sell to the market for 14,000 credits a ton. And buying them, let me just put the window capture back up. So I'm just going to kill the overlay for just the restream chat for just a moment so you can see clearly. So given what I'm getting here, the place to buy have we got this one already set up? Yeah, cool. Place to buy with a large pad. 64,000 light seconds out, not interested in that. This one might be a good choice. That's 650, which would be over 13,000 credits a ton profit. 28 light years away. Dutton Gateway. Yeah, it's something I noticed on EDDB when I was thinking how I was going to do this. So, kill that, put that back. Yeah, this is something. I've not seen this before. How crazy this price difference is. But I am going to go and try and make some money doing it. So, what we're going to do. Doing this sort of trading has a certain amount of setup time. They must be really desperate. Yeah, demand of 35,000 units as well, I think. I have no idea why. It will be some peculiar combination of circumstances.
Landing gear retracted.
But normally, high-priced bulk commodities rather than rares wouldn't get much above 3,000 to 6,000 credits a ton profit margin. So 13,000 credit a ton profit margin, I've never seen it.
You are now clear of federal restriction zones. Be careful out there.
And if you just know how to use EDDB and such like, you can find these sort of things for yourself.
Frameshift drive charging.
No problem, Subsonic.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to go fly to the system and we're going to make a few runs. So it should be Dutton Gateway. The thing is, the figures on that are 3 days old, and that makes me wonder if it's already bought out because other people found this before me. Because believe me, I'm not the only person to have spotted this in Elite.
Frameshift drive charging.
Space Ponzi scheme, exactly. It must be a Ponzi scheme of some sort. It's certainly not legal.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I mean, I have seen military grade fabrics go for several thousand credits. So a 3,000 credit profit margin on military grade fabrics, that's normal. They're one of the commodities to keep an eye on. Just not this much. Dutton Gateway. Hello. Yeah, tools like EDDB and EDDNS really are really useful. Because, for example, the other tool, EDDNS, will allow you to put two systems in there and it'll tell you how far apart they are. So when you're using EDDB to try and find, if you find a maximum and a minimum, they might be a bit of a distance, and something like the other tool can let you know just how far apart they are. But also EDDB will, what it's usually better to do is find a system that wants to buy something for a very good profit margin, and from that system search for where to buy it. That usually works better, because if you look for the absolute best price to buy the commodity at, you'll probably find that it's halfway across the bubble, where there's somewhere that wasn't that far off that's within about 1 or 2 jumps. So yeah, but EDDB.io is a very good tool to use. That and Inara are probably the two main ones I would use to look for lots of different opportunities. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick EDDB. We're approaching ever so slowly, so we'll do this a little quicker. That's good.
Echo, we're happy to have you, Commander. Priority access will be granted upon request. Approved for access. Please land on pad 17.
Scan detected.
Right, so in terms of bulk trades, bulk commodities trading, this run would be the best I've ever seen. So we're going to play around with it for a little bit. It doesn't feel fair to say I should run it for an hour, although I found the details reasonably quickly on EDDB. Still took a little bit of time. Right,
Landing
so
operation complete. You may disembark when ready. Welcome to the station, Commander.
So we want to buy military grade fabrics, 650 credits a ton. Oh, they've got a good price on Imperial slaves as well. Not that I do that anymore. So it's 908. Let's play around with this for a little bit and see if we can figure out an hourly rate for this trade run. Compare that to the 12 million we were getting for Road to Riches, or the 80 million I would get from Void Opals.
Clear of the landing pad. You are go for departure.
Landing gear retracted.
Still, the best way I know to make money in game is double painite hot spot mining. 140 million an hour on average for me. Sorry, fluffing this up a bit. I'm too worried about the shit that's coming in and not paying attention to what I'm doing.
Scan detected.
Right.
Scan
That's pretty.
detected.
So with a full cargo hold, it's no longer one jump.
Frameshift drive charging.
Right. That's a minute gone. 372 tons, I think, subsonic cargo capacity. So we're not going to hang around.
Fuel scooping. System scan complete. Fuel scooping complete.
Pull down a bit.
Frameshift drive charging.
Let me just confirm that. Yep, 372 tons. 5 millish profit. 2 jumps back, 1 jump there. Maybe 5-minute round trip.
3, 2,
So maybe do it 12 times. 60 million in an hour. Yeah, I won't just do this for an hour because that will get a little bit boring. Right, there it is. I'm being blind.
fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
So if this was to work out at maybe topping out at 60 million an hour maybe, but you would normally expect to see profits in the range of a third to half of that. That's still respectable. That's still, if you can find the right commodities and with a little bit of luck, that's still better than a Road to Riches. Oh, your run earlier is a good run. But if you keep an eye on things like EDDB, you can see these strange situations that happen. They don't happen all the time. And that's where something, I mean, I've never seen something this profitable with this type of commodity. And I've been playing the game since it came out, so that's the thing. And that's one of the joys of the game, is you pull into a system and suddenly you see that there's a massive profit opportunity. I mean, something like the run you were doing earlier on, no one else may know about that. Whereas I'm pretty sure, as I spotted this one in EDDB, there will be other people who are making money doing it. And because I'm in a private group, I won't necessarily see them. If I dropped into open here, there could be 1, 5, 10 other players doing exactly the same thing. But not only is this a... you were right to get excited. Normally, that would be towards the top end of what I would expect trying to do this. So this earlier on this evening, I was amazed when I saw this. I couldn't believe it, which is why I had to come and check it out. So actually, a 5 minutes for a round trip. Yeah, possibly. I mean, that seems to be the most likely explanation. Boom, civil liberty expansion. Maybe it's to do with... I'd be surprised if it was just saying as simple as boom. People would have discovered this before now. I'm really not sure. I'd love to know.
Engaged.
So actually saying 5 minutes for a round trip, probably not. Might be closer to 10. In which case we would be looking... maths. 30 million an hour. That compares favourably with the best I've ever got from stacking massacre missions per hour. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it is a good thing. And it's not as if it's really easy to do. You know, you've got to work up, get a ship. Because it's bulk commodities, you've got to have a ship with enough of a cargo capacity to make it worthwhile. So you've already, you know, dropped 200-300 million on one of the big ships to do this.
DeLacy, Tango, Hotel, Echo. Welcome, Commander. Starport services are at your disposal. Authorization cleared. Proceed to landing pad 07.
Not sure if I really should have boosted there. But I've dropped my landing gear far out, so let's see if it bleeds enough speed. Kind of healthy for the game once in a while. Yeah, I agree, Subsonic. These sorts of things are fun to find. Oh, nice. We didn't bounce off the landing pad. If you remember earlier that system we found with the assassination and massacre missions,
Landing completed. Power down systems.
this is as profitable as doing what that would have offered us, I would say, if not maybe a little bit more profitable. Right, moment of truth. Actually selling the stuff. 5 million profit. Head on. Head on, Subsonic. Lovely. Right, so what would be really nice is if we had something to take back the other way. So, Dutton Gateway. So if I just... Your map is very good, better than mine. Let me just kill that, put that up. So I'm here. This is Dutton Gateway where I want to buy stuff from. So if I click on there and I click on the market, unfortunately being a land base, this one is not going to have a lot of things that it will sell or I can buy here at a decent price. Basically hydrogen fuel, scrap, non-lethal weapons or reactive armour. So we're getting the first two. Non-lethal weapons sell for 2200 at Dutton. Reactive armor 2600. So the profit is... okay. Let's kill that. Put that back. So if I was to say I don't want to run empty, I might pick up a load of
at maximum capacity.
non-lethal weapons. And we just... backtrack. No problem. Subsolid. So if you would say, if you were doing this promptly, you could get 6 of these runs in an hour, carrying cargo both ways.
Landing coupler disengaged. You are cleared to support.
Question becomes, what kind of profit might you make? And you'd get maybe 6 if you were lucky, 8 of them in an hour.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Right, let's just get a pull away from here.
Frameshift drive charging.
Right. So ideally when you're trading, you never want to run empty. So you do want to try and take something back.
4, 3, 2, 1.
But there is a bit of an art to it as well, because rather than it taking me just one jump to get back, I now have to do 2. So if the profit from taking this commodity is too low, maybe it's not worth the extra.
System scan complete. Fuel scooping.
So some experimentation required, perhaps?
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Doing for time. It's not too bad. There was one other trick that used to work quite well that we might take a look at as well. But let us get ourselves... Let's do one more of these runs. So we're dropping off our non-lethal weapons at Button Gateway to pick up military grade fabrics. No problem, Subsonic. It's lovely to have you, and I'll see you next time. I will be streaming again Sunday 2 o'clock in the afternoon, otherwise Wednesday 7 o'clock next week. Sunday is Pathfinder Kingmaker, and Wednesday will be Elder Scrolls Online. Of course, next Thursday will be Elite Dangerous. Take care of yourself. Lovely to see you. So we'll sell our non-lethal weapons, pick up military grade fabrics, do one run back. And if we say round trip, you'd get 6 done in an hour, that gives us a rough figure. Then what we might go and see is see if long distance transport missions are still a thing, or boom systems on the edge of the bubble. Because it's been ages since I've tried those. I seem to be getting some threatening messages coming in on my comms link.
Tango Hotel Echo.
I think a pirate may have been taking an interest.
Serve you at this port. Authorization cleared. Your assigned landing pad is number 09.
Pity I didn't notice, because I would have enjoyed blowing them to pieces.
Scan detected. Landing gear deployed.
Right.
Touchdown sequence complete. You may disembark when ready. Station facilities are at your
Keep the
disposal.
ship tip-top condition. Commodities. So actually, the first thing I would do, if I was looking to make money, is check missions and see if anyone wants non-lethal weapons. Because generally speaking, missions will pay you more than selling stuff on the commodity market. Isn't a bad place to come, by the way, if you're wanting to do your Fed rank. All those lovely donation missions. Shame I've already got the Corvette. I would have been quite happy with that a while back. Oh, look at all of those. 50 units of reactive armour. I went for the non-lethal weapons. Okay, so we'll sell these. On the sell screen, our non-lethal weapons. 44,000 credit profit. So really, in the scheme of things, tiny profit. Would question whether it's worth it. But what we're here for is military grade fabrics at 650 credits a ton. I'll do one more run back. So it costs me 241,800 credits.
At maximum capacity.
EB has revealed this to us. So if we're only getting like 40,000 credits profit from trying to take a commodity back, I might well run empty on the way
Here's
back.
the landing pad. You are go for departure.
Ooh, Imperial cutter.
Be wary, Commander. We've got reports of heavy traffic in this sector.
Scan scan detected.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Fluffy Freak. Exactly. It could make the difference between being able to make 5 or 6 runs, or 6 and 7 runs in the hour that you might allocate, and that would be 5 million credits.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Right. Well, of course, this is the intermediary system of the one we're
Fuel
delivering to.
scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Hopefully sleep well tonight.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two,
Right. Here we are. So,
fuel scooping.
we'll hand this in, and then we will
Fuel scoop
go visit some old
disengaged.
haunts, or one of the old haunts, and see if they're still offering long distance missions that might be worthwhile as well. Because that was another way of trading, which could make you very decent money. I mean, this 30 million an hour, not mining money, but if you don't want to mine, it's decent. Although I would normally expect this to be 10 to 15 million at most, comparable to the Rotor Riches basically, because the prices on this particular run are just silly. But I'm rather glad that EDDB was not lying to me. Right. That's okay. It's very beige, but it's still not unimpressive, the gas giant. And we have this wonderful reddish planet we're coming up on, or moon, more correctly. Take care, Holly. Lovely to see you again.
Orbital flight engaged.
Right. We're about 0.12 G planet this, so not bad at all. I mean, that's not a bad view really, is it? Kind of nice. Now we're gliding. Make sure I don't. Okay. Start paying attention to what we're doing. Federal Liberal Command, right?
DeLacy Tango Hotel Echo. You are approaching a federal port, Commander. Please submit a docking request. Okay, Commander. Proceed to landing pad 08.
I don't want to be too silly in a gravitational field. That's a good way to smack your ship off the surface of the planet.
Decrease your speed immediately.
Landing gear deployed.
I was already doing it.
Stay on current heading. Landing area is clear.
Okay. See if the price has changed at all. There's been a price collapse while we've been gone. Sal. And no, 14,326 credits a ton, giving us just over 5 million in profit. Yowza. I mean, the in-game tools, yeah, I know. Tyson plant 11, okay, so 11 light years away. Or Fulton Dock. Sounds like that might be a medium pad. Now there are places just with the in-game tools. No problem, Fluffy Freak. Thank you for watching. And good luck with the PSU. Right, so what we're going to finish up with. Let me just see my bookmarks. Do I still have these places bookmarked? Yeah, there's one of the old names. There's another one. So they're in a boom state. Quince. They're also in a boom state. Which one of these two will we pop to? That one is slightly nearer. I haven't mapped that Earth-like. Let's pay a visit. So, this is another way, or there was another way of making some decent money. Um, 15 jobs. Was picking systems that were right beyond, just over the edge of the bubble, and you might find that there were a lot of missions which were perhaps within the system, or to just one other system nearby. Or alternatively, you might find they had some long-range missions going back into the bubble,
Landing gear retracted.
but they would be, you could stack a number of these deliveries, and it might be relatively small deliveries, but because of the distance, you would get a big payout. I'm not sure if it still works, but to finish up today's sort of playing around with some of the less usual money-making
Friendship
ideas,
drive charging.
we're going to go and take a look at one of them and see if there's anything there or not.
You have cleared the federal perimeter. Be careful out there.
4, 3, 2,
15 jumps is a fair old journey. So one of the main things would be why we're heading out there.
fuel scooping.
Make sure we fuel up, of course, but also scan, because you could pick up some more money doing it. And it might give you a nice little block of exploration data to sell when you get there to help boost your faction,
Fuel scoop disengaged.
thus improving the payouts on missions. Then again, we may get there and Feu may have died as a hotbed of activity, so you know.
Friendship
Only way I'm going to find out is to go there and take a look. But yeah, I can remember back in the day when I had an Asp Explorer doing long-range deliveries and smuggling runs from Feu and Quince back into the bubble, being chased by pirates and bounty hunters while I was doing it. Good fun. Okay, so no fuel scooping, so that was a T-Tory.
Friendship drive charging.
Our next star is Class K Orange, so we can scoop that. Do remember to keep an eye on your fuel when you're doing long journeys.
3,
Otherwise, you will need the fuel rats. Right, so we need to top up.
fuel scooping.
Ooh, okay. Good place to just hover. Let's see what's in this system. Nothing that really stands out. That would be too far out to be terraformable, as will probably both of those. That's a Class K star, so that will be outside the HAB zone. Just in case. Just in case. Unfortunately, that might be. No, I don't think it is blocked by the star. Oh. So why we're here, why we're just waiting to finish fueling.
Fuel scooping complete.
There we go. That was the one we wanted. And it's probably not particularly interesting. Yeah, high metal content, but not terraformable, so not really worth much. Right.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, we just timed that just nicely.
Four, three, two, one.
Apologies.
Fuel scooping.
There's our target.
Fuel scooping complete.
Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
We are 11 jumps away, including this one. We're about a third of the way there after this jump.
Four, three, two,
Whoa! That's a bright one.
fuel scooping.
Just take a look. Wow. Time to move on.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Past K next.
Four, three, two, one. Fuel scooping.
Okay.
Fuel scooping complete.
We are good. So we'll get to Fayu and we will take up the kinds of missions
Frameshift
that are
drive
there.
charging.
Take us a little while to get there, but not too long.
Four, three, two,
And we should be fine. Right. Watch rates drop to 50. There we go.
Charging.
Wow. Yeah. Just past the halfway mark.
Frameshift drive charging.
A lot of plants. Well, a lot of bodies.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Just there. Although trying to get it would be, that would be B4. See if we can find it. High metal content rate, that's the one I was looking for. Anything special? No, it's not terraformable. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
So I generally do like to refuel either near to full or full each jump. It's not necessary, not strictly necessary,
Temperature critical. Fuel skipping complete.
but it's not a bad habit to get into.
Frameshift drive charging.
Although you will get a better jump range, the less mass or weight you're carrying, and that includes having used up some of the fuel in your tank will give you a bit better jump range. So
4, 3, 2,
opinions vary.
Frameshift drive charging.
All jumps, including this one. 2/3 of the way there.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Fuel scooping.
A-type giant. Team. That's better. Huh.
Fuel scooping complete.
It's not a small star. Not in the least.
Frameshift drive charging.
Right.
Four, three, two,
Almost there.
fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Well, that's it. Temperature's dropping.
Frameshift drive charging.
Tory, then failed. Takes up 3 hours.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I know this is T-Tory, so there's no point trying to shoot from it.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three,
Our destination approaches. And here we have failed. So, place is in a boom state. and some free fuel. Okay.
Fuel scooping complete.
Go see what kind of missions they offer here these days. There's the airflow rod if I remember correctly. Right. Time to start turning towards it. Almost there. Bad for the alignment actually.
Delacey Tango Hotel Echo. We are pleased to have you at this Imperial facility, Commander. Permission granted. Proceed at your earliest convenience to pad 25.
Oh, we're coming in quite fast. As you can see, it's a very nice station.
Pilots are warmly thanked in advance for keeping the docking bay clear.
Right.
Landing gear deployed.
Welcome to the outer edge of the Empire. Okay, so let's just take a look at what's happening. First of all,
The Imperial Flight Operations Bureau welcomes you to this facility, Commander.
okay, so contacts wise, there shouldn't be anything. Universal cartographics, did we pick anything up of any interest? It's 500,000, but that's still not terrible. Right. What sort of market do they have? By quite a range?
We thank commanders for not obstructing our facility.
Commodities market. No, not commodities market, mission board. What kind of missions do they offer? Sparse. Oh, well, I'm still working on my Empire rank, so We're going to take some of these.
This facility requests that all pilots observe same speeds when traversing the docking bay.
Seems to be a bit of a conflict going on. A bit weird, to be honest. My Empire rank is currently 13% through Earl. Worth 3%. So, unfortunately, due to the current outbreak civil war, we'll have to check that later. What about passenger missions? I mean, I can't take any, but what are they kind of offering? So those are sightseeing. 4 million for that one.
Pilots are respectfully asked to
It's a fair old ways. Any transportation, or are they all sightseeing? Yeah. Okay, so not that great for missions, but we may have come at an odd time. So I'm going to bring the stream to a close there for tonight. My next stream will be Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock UK time, which is Pathfinder Kingmaker. Next Wednesday, 7 o'clock UK time, I will be back doing Elder Scrolls Online. And next Thursday, 7 o'clock UK time, I will be doing Elite Dangerous again. I will let people know on Twitter what I am doing, particularly including things like topics and such like. You can also find things like my key links to all the streams and a calendar of upcoming streams and such like on my website, which is worth keeping an eye on. And yeah, for the moment that will do. If you've enjoyed it and you haven't already followed the channel on Twitch or Mixer, liked it on Facebook or subscribed on YouTube, please consider doing so. That will also let you know when I go live again. Basically that's going to be it for this evening, I feel. Thank you very much for watching, and I think, as I am feeling a bit knackered, I am just going to bring it to a close there. Yeah, or I don't do a raid. Yeah, I'm not going to do a raid this time. So thank you all, and I will see folks again soon. Neo, take care of yourself, sir. I'll just switch to this one. No problem. It's been a pleasure. But I'm certainly looking forward to the fact that I'm not streaming tomorrow night as well. So take care all, and I will see you again soon. Thank you.
Imperial sovereign territory.